All right, we are live. How's it? We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to share a screen and go right here because this is it. This is it. This is it. This is the most badass baller move I've seen in pinball marketing in a long time, and it just goes to show you, like, when you've got a wizard in your corner and you got magic ready to go, you don't need to do much, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, one image here speaks more volumes than all the stuff we've been seeing over the last few weeks. And I sent Ken Cromwell a note today being like, you guys just like did it. You just like you were lurking in the shadows and you've just dropped what I think is the biggest baller move I've seen in pinball marketing ever. Because no one does baller moves, right? Nobody does baller moves. They simply they either do the same playbook, right? They show underneath the Brenda's handing me my glasses so I can actually read your comments. They've they usually show underneath the play field. They talk about a new feature. We're gonna talk about it, right? It's like I'm watching everybody's marketing moves, and it's like, hey, we got new glass, right? I mean, people literally taking credit for anti-reflective glass as if that matters in 2025. Like, we're going to start taking credit for leg bolts next and shooter rods, which is this is the shooter knob right here. But this is going to be a crazy few weeks. And we're going to talk about it. And I love it. And I love punching back a little bit. I love the confidence in this move. I love what it's going up against. And I love that there's going to be a Royal Rumble over the next 4 weeks of 4 titles. And y'all know you're not buying 4 games. Y'all know you don't have the room for 4 more games. But this is a damn baller move. We're gonna talk about it. All right. We're definitely gonna talk about more of what happened today. Um, let me try and pull up right now. Hold on. I'm gonna see if the screen might go black, gang. Hold on a second. I want to see. All right, here we go. Hold on. This is the other thing happened today. Um, here we go. Share screen. You know, they've got this like sort of this thing they're doing barrels right now. This like this marketing strategy of like we're going to remind people of where value lies and where the best bang for the buck in pinball. And look, that's cool. You know, nothing wrong with that. I David Van Ness did get back to me today, and that seems to be their strategy of putting more in the games and giving people more for their money. And you know what? I can't fault them for that. I think it's what people want right now. We're living in very expensive times, and for $10,000. But yeah, like Juicy Time, right? I mean, it's like it sounded like Tron music. Kaneda, are you ready for 2 pinballs? Kong and Harry Potter pinball. Yeah, it's more than 2. It's 4. It's going to be King Kong, Harry Potter, Dune, most likely, and Predator. Okay. So I'm gonna get to all your comments. I just want to say I think out of all the marketing I've seen, it's like, look, Stern's got Elwin. They've got Elwin's like having the closer, man. He's the closer. He's Glenn Ross. He's the Alec Baldwin character. He drinks the coffee. He gets the deal done. He gets the customers to line up for him. He's the best, most bankable thing in all of pinball right now is Keith Elwin, right? So Stern's got him making King Kong. And it's like, it's ready, right? It's coming in just like a week. All right. So that's like juggernaut, right? How do you beat King Kong? Well, Harry Potter gives you a damn good fighting chance. And Harry Potter is the biggest theme in pinball since Star Wars. It is the second biggest theme in the history of pinball. And so that's really, interesting, right? Is like we are going to get the second biggest theme of all time made into a pinball machine by a company that knows it needs to make a statement, right? But man, okay, so the reason I love the move today, of like you can basically they know they're not raising the price. They basically are going to have everybody curious to wait and see Harry Potter before. I don't know, like, are you gonna buy? I think, look, the hardest game now to break through is gonna be the barrels game. It's like the timing couldn't be worse. Like you're getting it from you're trying to fight a two-front war against the best designer in pinball right now, and the second biggest theme in the history of pinball that might even be the biggest theme ever in pinball because there's never been a Harry Potter pinball machine. And there's been a plethora of Star Wars pinball machines over time. And you know what? None of them are good. None of them are good. So if they knock Harry Potter out of the park, it'll be the best, the most popular theme integrated properly in the history of pinball. So I'm excited, gang. I really am excited. But I also, I want to say, I think Jersey Jack's marketing around Potter's kind of been funny to me. It's like they're just kind of sitting back being like, that's cute. That's cute. Maybe if I were you, I wouldn't spend my money on anyone else's product. If I were you, as everyone's getting these media days and flying people out to go see their product, okay, cool. You can order your Harry Potter next week too. It's fun, right? It's really fun to see all this. So, like, gang, was there something today about like DunePinball.com? Did someone say like Zach? I'm confused. I don't know. I've been working all day, so I have no idea. Did Zach like trademark that URL along with like Harry Potter pinball? Is that what happened? Okay, it was a troll site, right? Okay, that's what I thought because people were making other troll sites. I think it's gonna get I don't know, right? When I see that, I feel like Barrels of Fun is sandbagging us with Dune. I really do. I really do. I think I still to this day think it's gonna be, something else. Like maybe it's Goonies, maybe the thing that eats the ball is what's his name? Like Chuck who's the heavy kid? Why is the name I can't the name is escaping me right now. Sloth Chunk. Yeah, sorry, it was Chunk. I want to say Chuck. It is like Chunk. He's always eating and he's eating the candy. Like maybe he eats the balls and that's how you lock a ball. I don't know. Like a week from now, we're going to see it. I will say this. The teasing of the parts, it's not working. That lighting system does nothing. It's funny because is that lighting system, is it stealing what the lighting system is in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? Like very similar to what Melvin has in his game, but look, lighting shouldn't be like hard to do, right? These are LED lights. They are not expensive. Branding these LED lights as like unique like patent pending innovations is comical to me. None of them are really like, wow. Like, and in fact, I think a lot of them, even when I saw that Barrels one, I was like, well, I hope it's not Dune because if it is, this rainbow lighting system makes no sense for a movie like Dune. And I think what a lot of these games are forgetting is the lighting should reflect the theme and the lighting should be indicative of the light sources from the theme. So let me give you an example. If you've ever played Lord of the Rings, it really only works with the white warm light because it connects to that more like Middle Earth vibe. When you do the RGB full color inserts people do, and you throw rainbow puke into the Lord of the Rings game, it absolutely ruins the game. And so, whether it's Dune, or I even think Harry Potter to me is not a rainbow puke light scheme. So, I think these companies wanting to light up every game like a Skittles Christmas tree isn't really the way to go. And I'm all for like modern lighting, but I think the lighting should reflect the game. I noticed that when I played Evil Dead, I liked the way the lighting worked and it wasn't, crazy rainbow puke and inserts were lit so you knew what to shoot at. That's the other thing in some of these modern games. You have no idea, but more JJP than everybody else. You have like no idea where to shoot. It's just like everything's lit. No, I guess I'll just go here. Well, Elton John being rainbow puke kind of makes sense because it's like 70s disco, which is very rainbow like. And Elton John's whole thing is this sort of rainbow world. So I think it works with Elton John. Spooky been having a fantastic lighting since 2017. Stern's lighting is the worst. Like it's the worst. Like, have you ever seen a Stern game in a track mode even look as good as like Big Lebowski's attract mode from 12 years ago? Total Nuclear Annihilation, that light show embarrasses anything that's in a Stern. I like Stern to me, it is like it's like it's strange. Like, they still dominate and they still dominate by volume, but they really have struggled to consistently, put what should be in these games by now. And a lot of that is like they win on gameplay, right? They win on gameplay, they win on themes. And this is the big difference now, right? Stern's not used to this. They're not used to having a competition that's securing some pretty damn good themes and also delivering some incredible bang for the buck, right? They're not used to this. Like Stern Pinball doesn't get Pulp Fiction, somebody else does. Stern Pinball doesn't get Rick and Morty, somebody else does. Stern Pinball doesn't have Harry Potter, somebody else does. Stern Pinball doesn't have Back to the Future, somebody else does. So they're not used to this. They were like the only player in town, and they were laughing at all the other companies that weren't really securing anything amazing. Like even Jersey Jack's themes, to be honest, Wizard of Oz, yeah. Hobbit, What after that? What was it? Dialed In, Pirates of the Caribbean without any assets. You know what I'm saying? Like, hasn't really been Toy Story 4, Avatar. Stern already made it. Elton John. It's like, where? Like, come on. And now we're gonna get Harry Potter, right? And we know they wanted Harry Potter. That's why Joe Kamnikow was so bitter. People don't talk about this. Like that was one of the most bitter, petty things I'd ever seen. Because Joe's a super successful guy, and if there's anything, multimillionaires with $1 million car collections who have, Joe gets his way. He didn't get his way here. And for him to rage announce that JJP had the license like that, it's crazy, right? That was like the first time we'd ever see. I've been covering this hobby for 12 years. I've never seen anybody ever do that. Like it's like not really professional, but yeah, I used to talk to Joe. He blocked me. I don't know what happened there. Just who knows? He blocked. It is what it is. Like I haven't really thought about it much because I'm not even sure what I did. Um, Plenty of Stern games have no, they don't. What's a Stern game with great lighting? Name me a Stern game with lighting that is anywhere as good as modern spooky games, modern JJP games. And I'll wait. Jaws lighting is great. Bro, go play Evil Dead and then tell me Jaws lighting is great. Metallica no, I was just on a Metallica. Those uh what are they? They're like Tic Tacs on the side of the cabinet. The expression lighting system is so bad. Like I don't understand like why it's like Tic Tacs. Like why couldn't they run the length of the cabinet? I don't, and you can't really create that much of an atmosphere with those. I mean, like they're fine, but they're like out of all the expression lighting systems in pinball now, it's the worst. And this is the company that should have the best R&D and the best innovation. You know, Jaws lighting is beautifully coded. All right, well, I'll take your word for it. Um, Look, Jaws is a great game. It's held its value. Out of all the modern Sterns, it's the only one that at 13,000, it's held its value. All time block list. Yeah, man, it's funny to me that people still, after all these years, I mean, I've been blocked on Pinside now. Oh, shoosh. It's been 12 years now I've been blocked on Pinside. 12 years. And the world's second favorite pinball podcast is still not allowed back. So, well, it's fun. Retro Django's hanging out again on the Facebook page. It's nice to see him there. He's something though. Like I can't message him. I don't know what he did. I can't PM him anything. So I guess it'll I can reply to his comments on my page. Yeah, it's cool, man. I don't want to be back on Pinside. The days of arguing with those alcoholics, I find no enjoyment in it. And anything of value on Pinside, which is usually the owners club, is easy for me to pop into and engage or just read up on what's happening with these games. I mean, that's what I use Pinside for, gang. I love seeing people's game rooms. I love seeing people's, the owners club and talking about owning the game. We're gonna go back real quick. This is it. This is it. I mean, think about this move today. Let's just talk about this from a marketing standpoint. You're 1 week out from Stern Pinball and Barrels of Fun is about to reveal their new game. So you know you have the dominant theme. You know that's not a JJP page. All right, fine. I it it whether Zach did this or not, it doesn't matter. They basically have told all their distros you can now reserve your game. What does it say down? I got this from Naps Arcade. Let me see here. What does it say here? I mean, it seems. Let's see. What is this? What is this again on the ball? I open. What is it at the? I think isn't that like the Quidditch ball that like isn't that thing like fly around? Just go to the URL. Where are in the? Wait. Well, just the fact, gang, that they are, they've told their distros. Let me stop sharing. The fact that they've announced to their distros like it's coming, here's the details is great. And it's great. I'll tell you this. The fact that normally JJP will ask you to take this stuff down, um, but they're not, right? They know what they got. Gang, all the deposits on JJPs have always been non-refundable. So I don't know why anyone's confused by that. They've been non-refundable since Toy Story 4, since Godfather, since Avatar, and since Guns N' Roses, since you know, so Jersey Jack has had non-refundable $2,500 for a CE for about 5 years now. So I don't know why anyone's confused by that. So I think what's going to be interesting is seeing what they do with the amount of Harry Potter CEs. Because the rumor is that they're going to have a window by which they'll take as many orders for CEs as they get, and they're going to make that many. So that's definitely going to just kind of squeeze the collectability for sure. Like you're not going to have the FOMO, and you're not going to have to fight to be on a distro list to get one, because I think they'll make you one if you want one, if you order it within a certain time frame. Look, it's a smart business move for Jersey Jack. They're going to the demand for a Harry Potter CE, because again, like nobody really wants $12,000 LEs. They know that. What's wise about this move for them is they're basically going to flip the order volume. So they're going to get like thousands of people to order CEs, and they're not really going to care that the LEs are not going to get nearly as many orders. In fact, I guarantee you that if JJP opens up the window for CEs to be ordered more than 1,000, they will easily get more orders for CEs than LEs. And it'll end up being like the LE will actually be more limited than the collector's edition. I think Jack's going to say he got 5,000 orders. Like Jack, for those newbies here, Jack did this before. He did it. If you remember when he did it on Dialed In. He said, "Hey, we're only going to make as many as we get orders for." I believe it was midnight on New Year's Eve. Game was launched and I think they launched the game at, I think it was like Expo. There was some time frame. And then he's like, "We got 150 orders." It was like such an exact number. Crazy, right? How far we've come. Like there was no demand for Dialed In. No demand. Chris, do you think Potter will have a better toy than the Scramp? What's the Scramp? Is the Scramp the what's the Scramp? Is that a Harry Potter thing I should know? The Scramp. Oh, the shrimp. Is that the crab avatar toy? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The scoop that becomes a ramp on Avatar. Yeah, yes. I think this, from what I've heard of people that have seen Harry Potter, it is loaded, it is packed, it is gonna have a lot of stuff in it. That's what I heard. I mean, as Jack said, it's got 3 levels of play. I expect this thing to be, Eric's like his opus. I haven't heard Eric talk about a game like this in a long time. You said Toy Story was great. No, I didn't. And no. I said I heard rumors, but the moment I saw Toy Story, I never said it was great. Here's the thing: is like unless I've seen something, like I'm just reporting back to you what people are telling me. Um, what I heard on Toy Story early on was that it's a lot of fun to shoot, but it's not packed. You and Brenda said Wonka was amazing. Look, I gotta be honest. Willy Wonka, still to this day, it it is probably Jersey Jack's, best game. Probably. I mean that. It's probably to this day their best game, for, in terms of like the total package of what it delivers. The reason why I'm disappointed in Wonka is I thought when I went to see it at Jersey Jack, Jack said it was going to have all the assets in there. And I asked about like the songs and the musical. He said everything you want is going to be in there. And then I also like when he was describing how Wonka Vision was going to work, I was so enamored by what he described, and none of that made its way really into the game at all. Wizard of Oz is not the best. Wizard of Oz is a terrible shooting game. It's a terrible shooting game, guys. Like, how does anybody enjoy the way Waz shoots? Like, all the shots are right up the middle. The left outlane drain by the state fair is just punishing and not enjoyable. Waz is just a terribly like it's a terrible design layout. It really is. It should have been more casual and fun and inviting. Instead, Joe Balser like made it brutal. I don't find Waz to be fun to shoot. It's beautiful to look at. It's a stunning game, but it's a clunky mess. I've never really been a fan of any, look, Waz didn't just sell based on theme, gang. Waz sold because look at the damn thing. When they made Wizard of Oz, Stern's games were Photoshop, drag and drop crap, like empty crap. And it was only $6,500, gang. And a Stern was like 5,500, and it looked like garbage. Remember, Waz came out when what Stern had like Transformers and stuff like that. Like it was only after Wizard of Oz that they did ACDC. Um, but look, I think Jersey Jack's got a lot to prove with this game. Jersey Jack's been a company with deep pockets and short I, like their pockets are deep, but the masterpieces they've made is a short list. And I think they're a company that's never quite put it all together. And I've been saying this about Jersey Jack all these years is I think the reason why we've been so sort of disappointed, if you will, is that our expectations for what they can bring to market, I think, have been have never been met. I mean that. Like when Jack says every game was going to get better than Wizard of Oz, like the games are beautiful. I mean, you got to think about it, gang. It took this company about 8 years, 8 years, maybe 9 years. Actually, I think it was 10 years. It took this company 10 years to finally address having mushy flippers. Like seriously, like a lot of people's issues with the feel of a Jersey Jack game was the flipper feel. And they finally figured out with the IO board how to like get more snap. And that's only really after kind of Steve Ritchie came on board. I think Harry Potter playfields are going to be a mixture of Bader and Mirko. I don't think one supplier can do all the Harry Potter playfields. It just seems like the orders are going to be so big. Um, Look, Pirates of the Caribbean. Um, it's a game that like it it's a beautiful atmospheric game. It's got the maybe the best upper playfield in the history of pinball. It's got so much in it. And I haven't spent enough time on Pirates of the Caribbean, I have to be honest. because the people that love it, I mean, they love it. Like, they swear by it. And it's left an indelible impression upon the owners like no other Jersey Jack game. The rarity of it has artificially elevated the price to the realm of it just being silly. I I I'm not supposed to say anything because it's not it might be a few years out, but yeah, you might not have to buy one used. Uh, Kaneda, what are you doing? Kaneda, you're not supposed to give, like, anything away for free. You're supposed to charge people $5, but let's just say, and maybe some things that were supposed to spin are gonna spin again. Oh, did it again. Kaneda did it again. Just gotta stop. Gotta stop. Maybe they're oh, shoot. No, we gotta sell these Harry Potters. Um, yeah, I'm excited, I think, I don't know. I'm really nervous for barrels. I'm not I don't even think Pinball Brothers have a chance here. If I have to be honest, like, as much as I love Predator, I can't see the Pinball Brothers punching at the same weight as Harry Potter and Eric Minier and Elwin and the team on Kong and even Barrels. Like, I just Pinball Brothers as a company hasn't shown us that they know how to make a great game. And so, seems like it's gonna be the same players on the field, so why would I now expect them to do something epic? So, does the new Barrels of Fun game have 20 coils in it? Is that been confirmed? No, I mean, look, I hate last year, intransparency and no vaults. 23 coils. Yeah, no, Carrie seemingly, Carrie's done a good job getting some good info out for sure. I just think I think everybody is feeling what I'm feeling right now. I don't care right now about rumors or it's got lighting or glass or coils. Like, it's like you got to show it now. Like, at this stage, it's like we're a week out, week and a half out. Like, it's put up or shut up time. It's put up or shut up time. I know Harry Potter is going to present tremendously well. I do. I know Jersey Jack is not going to have a problem getting people into Harry Potter. Like, the big question marks to me are still like theme integration. Are they going to have muted clips or not? And like, how are they going to handle 8 movies? Like, I hope they don't overcomplicate it. It makes me nervous. It's a company that has a history of overcomplicating IP, but it's Joe Katz, which makes me a lot happier because I think Joe Katz, unlike Keith Elwin, knows how to make a game much more approachable and much more fun. I do. I think, when Keith came into the room with the avatar diner menu of how you play the game, I literally was like, I gotta go. I'm not doing this. Keith, I'm not collecting 22 song notes. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do this. I don't even know the names of any of these places. I don't even know the names of these characters, let alone I don't even remember music being a part of the damn movies. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going down this road with you. I don't want to collect 35 Guns N' Roses patches. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. 8 Guns N' Roses patches would have been enough. Like, it would have felt like, I don't know, like you could actually get your head around it. Like, I don't want to collect 35 patches. I don't want to have it. So, like, these 4 patches create a bundle. When you go deep into like how Guns N' Roses is coded, and then you, like, realize, like, how brutal the gameplay is with the balls draining left and right. Alright, you made the game really hard and really deep. I you know, I don't I don't think that's a recipe for fun. It's just just the way I feel, man. Um, the, um the Avatar lower playfields are terrible. They're just boring. They're just boring. I mean, like, they're terrible, they're just boring. I don't know how they got past the Whitewood stage on those. My computer wheel of death is going, gang, so hopefully, it doesn't quit. So if it quits, it'll be a night. We got a nice number here. 110 people. I mean, there's more people here than I am getting on my Saturday morning. So, yeah, this is an easy hour for everybody, right? Like nobody's really working now. It looks like most people just want the ball to get out once in the lower yeah. Is Harry Potter for sure movie based? And yes, it's movie based. Jack's already said they have all the assets to all the movies. Like he literally said that, like word for word. Do you guys think it's Dune? Like do you think it's gonna be Dune? Or are we gonna get Sandbag and it's Goonies, and they know it's Goonies and they're just playing all of us? It would be the greatest switcheroo in the history of pinball marketing. I don't think it's Dune either. 23 coils sounds like a big sandworm. He said, but I know. Mad Max? I don't think it's Mad Max. I don't know, right? I mean, like at least we're still wondering, right? We all knew it was Harry Potter. We all knew it was King Kong. We all, you know. I mean, Chunk could eat the ball, you know, or Sloth. You know, those 2 could eat the ball. Yeah, so I started speculating on whether or not it was Little Shop of Horrors because in Little Shop of Horrors, I think somebody has the license for that theme, and it fits within the Barrels of Fun kind of title, and Audrey 5 would be a really cool mech that could eat the ball and talk to you, so I don't know. Does anybody here know Does anyone here know what the Barrels theme is, but won't say? Watch everyone be like, "Yeah, me." Uh, if anyone has Super Mario Brothers, Mario, it's a me, the Mario. It's a Stern. Stern is gonna have a Mario Brothers. Well, look, if anyone's gonna get GI Joe, it's gonna be Barrels because Brian Savage basically ran the GI Joe fan club for like 20 years. So Minecraft would not sell at all. Like nobody, it's just Minecraft's like like Gen Z. Ramps has a little shop of horrors. Great. Well, the reason why like Minecraft doesn't work, it's the same way like I don't know if like Lego really works, right? I mean, you can make a pinball machine look like a Lego world, and that might work, might not. But I just don't know, like, if having just a Minecraft world under glass is what people really want, especially in the pinball buying demo. Duke Nukem, what it didn't even sell as a video game. Look, I think Big Trouble in Little China, Spaceballs would be fun. Yeah, I think what I get excited about in pinball is the real potential for these boutique companies to just make small batch runs, like 500 to 1,000 is like, a lot easier to do that. Opens the door for a lot more properties that aren't super expensive. But man, Harry Potter, we got Harry Potter. Bugs, Bug is here. Um, well, Futurama, I think we might get from Spooky one day if Ben Heck has anything to say about it. I do hope Spooky Pinball, think about it, they made 500 Ultramans, and I know Ultraman is like the game they don't want to talk about. Ultraman is Spooky Pinball's version of Atari's ET video game. For Atari, I think if they could, Spooky Pinball would go buy up all the Ultraman machines and bury them in the desert somewhere and just never have the game like be connected to their company ever again. But like if they had the guts to make Ultraman, then why not Meatloaf? And I mean this, like if Ben Heck and Spooky decided to like make a 500 run, or it should be a 666, hell, the devil's number, a bat out of hell. If they made Bat out of Hell like 1 and 2, like Bat out of Hell Pinball, I mean, seriously, you can't get better pinball rock and roll opera music than Meatloaf. Like, I'm serious when I say this. Like, I'm serious. Ultraman is better than Jetsons. I mean, come on, that's like saying, I don't know. That's just that's not a that neither is Jetsons is a proof of concept. That's all that is. Tenor drop. Oh my god. Hey, Ultraman, I walked away from my deposit and like I didn't even care. They were like, I was like, I'll pay you more money to just like give me a total recall on my purchase of that game because I just I don't know, man. I don't know. Like it's gotta be fun if you're Bug and the team over at Spooky right now. And by the way, guys, I gotta admit, man, like me praising you guys and like giving you guys shout outs has created a little bit of a I'm getting like vibes from my barrels of fun friends that maybe it's not so fun to be inside the barrel is all I'll say because I think they literally I think they see you guys, and they should. I think there's like a competitive spirit between the 2 companies. There's obviously some history between the 2 companies, and I don't even think it's negative. But I think you guys took it up a notch, and I don't think they were expecting that. And I think getting Franchi on board was like the final, like it's like it was such a smart move, and I don't know if they have like the ability to punch back like visually and aesthetically like with where you guys are at right now. Like it's that Evil Dead's like it's just like so damn sexy. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It is. Beryl should come here then instead of being butthurt about it. Well, look, I've said this to the my friends over there. And I feel like it, I don't know. It's just not in their DNA. Like they want to build a company based on secrecy, fine, but it's weird. Like in their like statement yesterday, like we want to be as transparent as we can. We just don't want to stand in front of the camera. Kaneda should get a free Evil Dead for helping sales. Yeah, give me game number 889, but just call it Beetlejuice, okay? Can I get Evil Dead number 889, but just, or Beetlejuice number 1, whichever way you guys wanna do it. It's fine with me. Um, so look, I think I think what would help Barrels of Fun, because when I saw, like, the lighting tease today, and I know they've got 20 something coils, it's like, what's missing is we're a week out, and I wanna see David Van Ness being like, "Gang, I can't wait for you to see my game in a week." I don't care. Do it at 3 in the morning. I've been working all day. These 23 coils, man. I can't wait till you see what these things are firing, right? Something. Like, I don't know. Don't brand a new LED lighting system as in like Horizon Lighting. Woo, shoo, 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 shoo. We made $20 lights do this. And we're gonna give you great value at $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, for $10,000, you can now have glass that's anti-reflective. For $10,000, the glass should be anti-reflective. I feel like Chris Rock. Like, these pinball companies are now taking credit for stuff they shouldn't be taking credit for. And Chris Rock was like, dads are like, I'm not in jail. You're not supposed to be in jail. You're not supposed to be in jail. You're not supposed to. You can't take credit for not being in jail. And it's like, hey, we got like $20 lights in our game. You're supposed to have $20 lights in your game. Like, well, I don't understand this. Like, pinball glass that reflects is terrible to look at. Like, don't start taking credit for all this stuff. You know, it's just like I don't know. It's like I miss the good old days when people were like innovating like the dumbest stuff. Like, remember the Robert Mueller, the box that the game went into, the pin pod. Like, it was like, yeah, but man, that won't even fit through a door. And he literally got these pinball media to go there and assemble it in front of him. Like, it's one of the greatest pieces of pinball content ever. I've saved it all down. It's on my, so I think it's on my YouTube channel because I just didn't want to live in a world where we forgot that like 6 or 8 pinball media went over there and actually didn't laugh in the guy's face. It's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, I wanted to buy one of those pin pods and podcast from it and make it like a soundproof booth or something. I mean, legit, like, gang, we're in a hobby where Robert Mueller went up on stage and said he was going to make more games in 1 year than all pinball companies combined, right? And they clapped. They clapped. Nobody coughed and was like, boosh. No, they clapped. Steve Bowden was up there. Just wait. Steve Bowden did the podcast tour. Just wait till you see what we got. I I literally. I mean, I think the only Steve Bowden game the world will bang on is Barbecue Challenge. Like, you can't say this stuff. It's too he's controversial. He's a controversial figure in pinball. He's not celebrating, like people who say they want to make pinball machines that have absolutely no experience in manufacturing. Like, why is he doing this? Like, what's this is not good. Like, we got to make sure everybody feels welcome. Is TPN done, Josh? I didn't listen to the latest show. Um, I have to imagine, Zach is probably just over a lot of it. I is he not doing the pinball show anymore? I think they'll still do like the flipping out videos though, right? I mean, like, I get it, gang. I get it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be completely honest with each and every one of you. I love doing my show. They're still doing the show. Oh, there's TPN is over, but the pinball show survives. Oh, yeah. I mean, I mean, getting like TPN was like never it was never really like a thing, was it? Like it was just a logo on everyone else's content. So like TPN going away, but the pinball show surviving is makes you'll never feel, and you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was the NWO. Like you'll never feel a void. The biggest show on it was the pinball show. So like like when it was created, it was interesting, right? It was like this network of the world's best pinball content creators without me and Christopher Franchi invited. you know, you know, Jack Danger wasn't invited. There was all that drama at the beginning. But in the end, like it ended up just being like, all right, it was just like a way to sort of aggregate, if you will, a whole bunch of content. Zach Smart, like a whole bunch of content, leading people, to his company. Never had a problem with anybody trying to like increase their awareness. I think what always surprised me is the reverse, is the amount of people that make content for seemingly like no gain whatsoever, other than like just the love of making the content, right? Which is fine. But you see it now. It's like the inordinate amount of effort certain people put into making pinball content. And in the end, like, a lot of them are newer. They haven't been doing it for as long as I have, or Zach has, or Franchi has. Um, you know, they just burn out. Can we get back to pinball? Just got an email from Pinball Star taking Potter pre-orders. Like, I probably got that email too. Let me find it. Hold on. We're about to get spam. Let's see. I didn't get it. I got an email about a missing cat. Let me refresh. Maybe I got it to I think my Pinball Star might be my other address. It's weird that like, nope, I didn't get it. Can you, what were the details of the Pinball Star email? Okay. Well, we knew all that, so nothing's changed. I mean, like, there's nothing new. Well, Marty is he entered into the final round the moment he got into business with Damien. So well, I don't need the hookup, because I just think they're gonna make as many Potter CEs as they get orders for. So you know me, like if they only made 1,000 Harry Potter CEs, this was my thing. I was like, I guarantee you they will sell for 20 grand on the secondhand market, right? If they only make 1,000. I won't be able to test out that hypothesis, because I think they're going to take as many orders as people give them. So so now, I'm a buyer if I'm a buyer because I want to just buy it and keep it and enjoy it. I'm not a buyer to scalp. Because again, I think Jack is going to announce they got 5,000 orders, because it does Jack no justice to be honest about the order number. Because think about it. If he gets 2,500 orders for a $15,000 game, he's just going to say, so, and think about it. So those people order and they have to give think about this, gang, because, Kaneda's a little bit smart. I did go to boarding school that was very expensive, and then private school. So I can do the logic here. Okay, so think about it. If Jersey Jack says we're going to make, okay, let's say we're going to open up a window for a week for Harry Potter CE orders. Let's say 2,500 people roughly legitimately place an order. Now, placing an order means giving a $2,500 non-refundable deposit. Okay, so he locks in 200, 2,500 times 2,500. Okay. I can't do that math. Sorry. Some millions of dollars, right? Um, so then 6.25 million. Thank you. Okay. So, but what happens? You don't know. You don't know. Only he knows how many actual orders he got. So what happens when he says, all right, he knows he's got 2,500 money today in the bank or this week, but he also knows the demand for this game is going to be strong for 5 years. Gang, we've got 4,689 CE orders. You know what I'm saying? So he can announce that he's doubling the amount of actual orders he got because he's got half of those are non-refundable. So he doesn't care. And he doesn't have to prove that those other 2,500 orders are even real. There's no transparency here. And it's only to his benefit to just announce a large number, and he'll only do that after all that deposit money has been secured. So it's how I think if I'm them, I care more about getting people this game, eliminating scalping, and just opening, making sure we get the highest margin back on the most amount of games. And this will be the most profitable Jersey Jack game of all time. And instead of watching the secondhand jackasses like Kaneda sell these things for 20 grand, I'm going to sell 5,000 for 15 grand. And we'll sell every one because it's Harry Potter. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah. Chris, don't undercut yourself. You're way smarter. But I just think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen. Like, and also, like, there's something to be said, gang, in like, all right, like Jersey Jack just destroyed scalping. Just, if you want the best version, buy the best version. I'm not gonna let scalpers, take money off the table that could be ours. And I'm not gonna like force people who want it to pay an inflated price. No market adjusted price here. Everyone who wants one gets one. So I think it's going to be, yeah. Well, Bill, like on the secondhand market now, this game will also go the same direction as Guns N' Roses. Well, they will make so many Harry Potters to the point where like nobody will ever have a problem getting one, where nobody will really even care that much about the difference between a CE and an LE. And yes, of course, they will become so ubiquitous. But the good news for Jersey Jack is, they need to buy themselves some time on this game because Steve Ritchie's game is not moving along as fast as they would like. And, they've got Ritchie next. And they've got 3 to 4 more games coming, in development. But also, gang, the thing about it is this. It's like, I think we're all now accepting the new reality of pinball that everything you buy is most likely going to be a hugely depreciating thing. And so then, you can, I think, wisely wait it out a little bit and swoop in and get a home use only game. And I don't even think home use only. I think you're going to be able to be knocking on dealer and distro doors and get really good deals on everything. So I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be like a really, it's going to be a buyer's market on everything. I think a lot of you guys, here's what I also think is going to happen. I think we're going to get over the next 2 to 3 years, some of the best pinball we've ever seen. And I think what's going to happen over the next 2 to 3 years is we're going to get games that make a lot of the older stuff feel dated. And I think a lot of you are going to want the new stuff. And to get the new stuff, you need to get rid of the old stuff. And to get rid of the old stuff, you're not going to get anywhere near the price you think you were going to get for your old stuff. And it's just, and I think what's going to happen is this. It's like the auto industry. Like only the current hot version is really going to hold. And everything, and you're going to see some, I think you're just going to see some significant losses like you've never seen before. And I mean it. We will get to the point where games like Venom and John Wick Pros will be $3,000 like within 2 to 3 years. And it's fine. Like it's only natural that you've oversaturated or you've made so many products. And again, there's like 13 companies pumping more into the market every year. It's only natural that the only ones that will become collectible almost will be like it was back in the day. It's like, think about it. Like Adam's Family wasn't like what the collectors sought out. It wasn't Twilight Zone. It was like King Kong because there was only like a handful of them. It was Kingpin, right? I mean, it was Pinball Circus. Like it's going to become the same. Like there's only going to be like a minute number of games that are truly collectible, that are hard to get. And some of those might even be games that, never fully got manufactured at the volume it was supposed to. And gang, here's what's crazy. We always stop thinking about this. This is just the here and the now, and like Back to the Future is coming out this year as well. Portal for the win. I think Portal's probably the best game by Multimorphic to date. I just don't think anyone's having putting Portal in the same play field as, no pun intended, right? It's not the same play field as these other games right now. And the problem with Multimorphic, and the problem is like it just requires such a large commitment to go in on that platform. You're not just buying one game like Portal, you're kind of psychologically agreeing in your own head to buy multiple games, because that's the whole point. If you're not swapping in and out the play fields, the whole business model and the whole platform then makes no sense. So that's the tough part. Now, if Jerry lines up 5 or 6 amazing games, but it's also tough now too, because Portal, just the modular part is like 5,000-6,000. So like, I don't know, like he's not this, it doesn't work all of a sudden. Like you're paying almost the price of a Storm Pro to put in just 1/3 of the play field. That to me like defeats the whole purpose now. No point in talking Alice as most America shut out. Does anyone want to talk Alice? I just want to see Alice gameplay. I mean, I every morning I'm like, Melvin, can I get some clips of it being played? Like the game is pretty much done. So yeah, gang, I gotta. This was fun. This was a fun hour to do. Bill Brandis, I noticed you're not a member of Kaneda's Pinball Podcast. The amount of time you listen to me live, you could be listening in your Ferrari car stereo to the world's one-time favorite pinball podcaster. Everybody, I really do appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been a lot of I'm going to Scotland Thursday. Work has been really rough lately. I'm on a lot of new stuff. There's just a lot of assignments. There's new people I'm working with. So I'm struggling to find my footing right now in my career. I won't lie. Like I just feel like I'm either on like a lot of stuff, or there's just like a lot of, I don't know, there's like growing pains, but I'm like, I feel like too old to prove myself over and over and over again every year. It's just like I'm good at what I do. Let me do what I do, and let's crush it. Like I don't like micromanagement. I don't like committees. I just, every time I try to just do anything creative, I run into a wall of other people's opinions and approvals. And it's just like, just let me go. Like, let me build teams that get it and let's go. That's how I like to do work. I don't like committees. I mean, I'll give you an example of just like something I just tried to go on a little bit of like, let's just name our conference rooms, something more fun. Problem is like, well, how do you decide, right? Who wants, like, I don't know, like, I just thought it'd be fun to name it after pop culture destinations, that are iconic, right? They're not going to go in and out of season. So it could be like Jurassic Park, Hogwarts, Death Star, you know, I don't know, Hawkins, you could think about like Rivendell, like you can just, and then, everyone's got an opinion. Then, we don't want to name them after conference. You literally get this feedback. We don't want to name them after conference rooms that could offend people. Offend people. I don't even understand what that means. Like, I'm not. What would be like? I'm not naming the conference room like Tiananmen Square. I don't understand. Like, it's not. I'm not naming the Twin Towers. Like, what could? And this is why I love doing the Pinball podcast, because it's just like, I don't know. I just want to give you guys some thoughts and opinions about what's happening in pinball. I don't have an editor. I don't have a deadline to hit. I don't have a boss. I don't have a manager. I don't have like, kids to mentor. I don't have like company goals to hit. I don't have a growth target. The more I tried to put a growth target on my own show, I went in the wrong direction. When I stopped caring about it, I went in a better direction. So I just, I just think, like, I appreciate what my point being is, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I appreciate the connection we have here, as a hobby and as a community. And I mean this when I say this. Like, I feel grounded in our conversations and with all of you. And I think what we all love about pinball and this hobby is we can come through the door of this hobby and we can be who we are. And I think in a lot of other places in life and a lot of our jobs, like, we kind of have to leave ourselves at the door and be who they want us to be. It sucks. It sucks. I don't know, and it's like, I could go down a whole tangent of like, it sucks, like being anxious like that, living in fear like that, and trying to always just be someone you're not. Like, it's all the cliches in life are true, people. You only feel free when you're living life to the beat of your own drum. And when you're not, you're not free. You're not free. They could spin it any other way. You know how they usually spin it? Like, it's like, we've got culture. Yeah, it's like this thing about like company cultures. It's like, just, what's culture? Like, Italians have culture. The Irish have culture. The Chinese have culture. America's got its culture. But like, when a company says our culture, I don't know. You guys got food recipes. You guys did you write songs? I'm sorry, but like, you don't have a culture until you've made music, until you've like created a dish that the world loves, until you've like penned a book that like captured a moment in time. What I'm saying? Is like, it's funny to me. It's funny to me. And the best companies that do have the culture, they have, they don't have to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you have to talk about your culture. And I'm not saying, like, I actually do think my company has a very strong culture. Don't get me wrong. But I've noticed this trend out there. The more companies talk about their culture or their efforts over here and over here, it's usually because they're like trying to mask like the lack of the very thing they're taking credit for. It's like if a band said, we make really good music, that band does not make really good music, right? It's just the way it goes. Everybody, what are you doing streaming on a Tuesday? Oh, you're late to the party. All right, everybody, have a good night. If you're not a member of Kaneda's Pinball Podcast, I really would appreciate, I know tariffs, I know taxes, but I really would appreciate you guys signing up. If you're just stumbling upon this content, I feel like these are all the usual suspects, but kanedapinball@gmail.com. If you like what you see here, there's a podcast that goes along with it. It's 3 times a week. You're going to get the latest and greatest happening in pinball. in an unfiltered way with no cursing, by the way, no cursing. A father came up to me years ago and said, "Hey, Chris, can you not curse on your show because my son listens to it and loves your podcast?" That was about 7 or 8 years ago. So it's like PG. Who knew? The controversial guy doesn't need to use any controversial words. Yeah, yeah, I should give you a tariff. Yeah, like, we're pretty clean in chat too, I will say. I kinda don't accept, like, bad behavior. The Will Smith of podcast. You know what's annoying about that I gotta go? Like, Will Smith's trying to make a comeback by becoming, like, a hardcore rapper again, like, it's weird. It's still sad to me seeing his attempt. No, Will, like, no. It's just not gonna work. Anyway, thank you, Josh, for upping your sub. I really do appreciate it. I'll give you a shout out, Josh, from the Raise the Roof Club. All right, everybody, have a great night. I got to go work now. Yeah, I'll be working to midnight. Decide to do this instead of work. I don't. I'm also just tired of working after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock every night. Like it's just like what we I spend all day in meetings, and then we have like 10 o'clock check-ins the next day. So it's like okay, so that's modern work now. Like we just meet all day long. I got and my kids come home at 6. I want to at least like have time with my children and dinner and then I go back to work again, exhausted, start all over again. You know, someone said it to me, and they're right. Like, bro, like we pick jobs where we get homework every night. I'm like, damn, he's right. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Love you guys. We'll chat soon.